Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab of California. We're going to do another breakdown here today of Sam Darnold, the quarterback from USC. A lot of guys have him as the #1 quarterback going into this season. Projected to be the #1 quarterback going into the next year's class. He's only going into his sophomore year, so we don't know exactly if he's going to leave or not. But either way, really one of the top quarterbacks. I think a lot of what he does is more of his ability to extend the play and make throws from there. But we'll still look at his mechanics here. I would say his big thing is going to be his release. I've read up on his what he's been working on, things like that, and they said that he's been working with Jordan Palmer on getting a better release to get him ready for the NFL, which I think is great because you can see that right away, what he's going to do, his first action is going to be to drop the ball. Okay, the issue with that is it just overall makes it so you're going to have a longer period before you can, obviously, the release time is very important in the NFL. You want to be able to get that release time down as fast as you can, and so by dropping the ball, you're going to end up it's going to take a longer time for you to actually get the ball out of your hand. I think what he does really well is he doesn't let the ball get behind his head, which is good, but I do think it's kind of a overall range of motion thing that makes it so he wants to drop the ball. He doesn't want to make it so he has to put his arm into too much external rotation, and that's why he can't throw the ball. And I'm going to let you go and see the whole throw here too, just so you could see kind of the whole process there. But you can see he kind of ends on his back. He does he starts standing and he drops his knees down, drops that center of gravity, really pushes down into the ground, and then when he's throwing the deep ball, he really rises up into the throw. And he actually ends back so far onto his heels. A lot of these throws, he ends up almost, falling backwards during it, which I think is kind of interesting. So I wanted to show you that one. I thought that was a cool angle. And then also we got a couple of them here that are, this ball is just a freaking beauty, and we got a couple good angles from it. So we're going to do this next one here. So it's off play action. Kind of sitting down there, you can see how low he is. You can see that he gets that good push off that back leg, transfers all that weight forward. He goes into, again, he doesn't get everything going onto that front leg though. He starts to almost push back, but like I said, he pushes back and he kind of ends back, and you can see that all the weight doesn't get onto his front leg, but he does create a lot of force because his weight does end up going backwards. So he's pushing hard off that inside part of the foot and heel. Which I think is really the most important thing to get, is that you've got to be able to create force off the ground. The more times we see this, the more we see different ways that people use their hips, different ways people use their arms, different ways people even bend in their spine. But I do think that what we end up seeing with these top college and pro quarterbacks is that they are able to really get a lot of force out of the ground. Which just means when you're getting rid of the ball, you got to really be pushing down on that front leg. That front leg needs to be really stable, okay? I don't think you want to go into a ton of extension in that front leg. He goes into a little bit there, but you do want to make sure that you are creating a lot of force. As long as you're pushing down the front leg, if you're going into extending in that a lot of extension into the knee, then I think that you can end up getting away with it. But I think the better option is really to push down and go more bent knee rather than straight knee, just because if somebody falls into him right here, you can get some hyperextension. So that's, I think, another thing that he could work on. And then I think overall range of motion in again, the shoulder. So in order for him to, and you can see how perfect of a ball that is, huh? I just hit him right in the shoulder pads, right in stride. So that was great. You can see it from the other angle. See how low he drops the ball? And so he's going to have to get more range of motion, because as he's coming through here, we can see that we see this common hyperextension going on with the back. Okay, so the reason why he wants to drop that ball, just how his body just has responded to throwing, is because of a lack of range of motion. So he goes into that hyperextension there, and then he tries to really push down the ground and generate the force from there, and he creates a lot of whip. He's one of the best quarterbacks in college football, so there's not a ton that you could say he doesn't do good. He's also very, very accurate. So, but I'm just saying some things that you could work on from an overall biomechanical standpoint would be increase that range of motion in the shoulder, make it so you can better transfer your weight onto that front leg and rotate that hip, and bend that front knee rather than extending the front knee. Okay, and I think those would be some key takeaways to go away from here. I do think what he does really, really well is he still is able to create that large amount of force into that front leg, whether he extends it or not. And you can see, how he kind of has that stiffness in that front leg as he's kind of transferring forward, where that's where he gets a lot of that force from. He doesn't use as much of his back leg. He just shifts his way onto the front leg, goes into extending that front leg, and lets it whip out of his arm. You can tell he's got a strong trunk kind of spine and shoulder area, so he uses a good amount of arm when he's throwing. And so, you could go and really work on that and help that out, but, that's going to be something that he'll have to do probably now in the off season. And I'm sure he's been working on that. So, I'm looking forward to see his improvement from one year to the next year. Especially he's been working on his release. Maybe we'll do a video about what was his big differences from release last year to release this year if we see a big difference. So, as always, thanks for watching these videos. I wanted to do a cool one of Sam Darnold here just because, he's starting to get a lot of hype going into the college football season. And, if you want to learn anything more about the throw, you could check out our membership on our page, on our website, performancelabofcalifornia.com/members. Also, if you're looking to improve your mechanics as a pitcher, as a quarterback, send us an email. We do breakdowns. I think we're going to definitely kick off some cool stuff going into the off season, but right now we could still do some stuff now that, even if you want to get some quick tune-ups during the season. And then also check out all of our other YouTube videos. We don't only have throw breakdowns, we have speed breakdowns, we have exercise. We want to just make it so you have as much value as we possibly can. So as always, thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.